One of the scariest things for me coming out of a narcissistic abusive relationship was the great and deep realization that I had as many kids as I did.
This woman shared how she has been in abusive marriage, abusive relationship with a man for years. And the thing is, she did not realize that she had four kids in the process until she was out of the relationship. Then she was like, oh my God, I had four kids. Like, she did not understand how she even got to the stage whereby she has four kids. She has to start watching videos of when they were little. And I'm like, what do you mean you didn't know you had four kids? What kind of abuse was like what kind of abuse was that? Because I've never heard this before. You were in an abusive relationship and you didn't even know that you were giving birth back to back. She didn't know. It's like she clocked out. She checked. I don't know. There was something of. Let's watch this video together. Then I'll share my thoughts at the end of the video. But let's know your thoughts down in the comment section while I watch this video.
One of the scariest things for me coming out of a narcissistic abusive relationship was the great and deep realization that I had as many kids as I did. And I know that that sounds insane, like just hearing me say that, but let me explain. So, for if you're new here, long story short, I was in a really hard toxic, abusive, narcissistic relationship, right? And during that time, I didn't know it at the time, but during that time, hindsight looking back and healing and all that stuff, I was experiencing extreme disassociation and extreme like functional freeze, which is basically where your nervous system is so traumatized, you are so traumatized, your body doesn't know any other way to keep you safe but to just basically disassociate and just basically numb yourself through whatever it is that you're going through. As humans, we have like fight or flight. Like if something is coming at us or we're in danger, our body kind of helps us avoid the danger, whether it's run, whether it's protect ourselves, whatever the case is. But when you're in an abusive relationship or a situation that you can't immediately get out of, our body tends to shut down in a way, in a effort to protect ourselves. And y'all, if I'm talking funny, I'm sorry. I have Invisalign in, and I don't know why it makes me talk funny, and like it's hard to, I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, my body like could not handle the level of trauma I was facing. Mind you, this is not my first traumatic situation that I'm going through, guys. I had a very hard upbringing, a very hard start in life already. So just imagine that, like my emotional regulation, my nervous system was already like on its last leg. And then to top it off, I got married and was just, words cannot explain how tumultuous, how toxic, how horrible what I was facing was. So essentially, my body, my nervous system just froze. It shut down. It tried to protect me by just kind of disassociating from the reality of what was happening. And I just always remembered like having my kids. And you know, when you're a mom, I've been a mom since I was 18. You kind of just go through the motions, like the day to day, wake up, take them to school, do whatever you got to do, da 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 da. I breastfed, I did all the things, but I wasn't present and I wasn't conscious all, at all. Like, I don't know how to properly depict to you how, like, a shell of myself I was. And the thing that's so crazy is that while I was going through it, my family, of course, saw everything that was happening and they were sad and they were hurting. They were seeing me being mistreated, abused, all the things. And one day, my younger sister, she is very like prophetic, very like she always has dreams, she always knows things before they happen, like that type of stuff, ever since we were kids. And my sister told me, she was like, Nina, I had a dream. She was like, I had a dream or like a vision. And she said in the dream, she was like, you were literally sitting at a table and you were turning into a skeleton, like literally, like in real time turning into a skeleton. And your husband, my husband at the time, she said he was like growing huge, like he was like just like growing like super muscular, super like handsome, super good looking, super everything, like while I was shrinking in the back and just like deteriorating. And she like I knew what that dream meant, but I didn't want to admit it because I felt like at that time in my life I felt like, you know what, this is my cross, I'm gonna take it up. Unfortunately, I didn't have the mindset and the um I didn't have the bandwidth to really understand, like, Nina, you're in an abusive relationship and you're
Mm-hmm.
going to not make it if you continue this way. I didn't really understand that, and I didn't want to accept that. So anyways, I really just was going with the motions. Every time I would get pregnant, I would just be like, all right, I guess it is what it is, kind of thing. I love my kids. I always loved my kids, but I never felt like full consciousness, and like I wasn't present because I was in an abusive situation. I was just trying to cope, trying to get through the day, trying to make it. And another thing that I really want to say too, I know this is a sidebar, but a lot of people don't understand that when you're in an abusive relationship, it's not you getting punched in the face 24/7, 365. There's little pockets of happiness, there's little pockets of
Yes.
joy, there's little pockets of laughter, and then there's a lot of abuse.
Yes.
So if I had to put it in ratios, I would say that like 80 to 90% of the relationship is bad, and then there's 10% good, and it's sprinkled throughout the relationship. So what does that do to you mentally? It keeps making you think like, oh, okay, it's gonna get better, it's gonna get better, it's gonna get better. You keep trying to spin, like kind of spin on a hamster wheel
Mm-hmm.
wheel to get back to that good place. Like you're it's like a rat race. You're trying to get back to when they were nice to you, or that day that they treated you nice or took you out, or that day that they smiled at you, or whatever the case may be. So that's what happened to me. And I feel like my husband passed away in 2023. So shortly after that is when my healing kind of started, obviously. And I feel like as of recent, I want to say within like the last 8-9 months is when I really came to like deep consciousness that I have 4 kids. Like, y'all, like, nobody believes me. Like, when I say this, I always kept saying it to my family. I'm like, I cannot believe I have 4 kids. And they're like, ah, everybody. I'm like, no, 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 I don't think you understand. Imagine almost like you being under anesthesia and you wake
Mm-hmm.
up and somebody like just completely reconstructed your face or body, and you're just like, that's how it felt for me. Like, healing and like coming, like trying to regulate my nervous system and like trying to come back to like a healthy place where I'm not fighting for my life and I'm not in survival mode, which I'm still dealing with, has been so sobering and so surreal, because I'm like, I cannot believe I have 4 kids. And when I say that, I say that in the most unbelievable, like exciting, scary way. Like I like
Mm-hmm.
literally, it's so crazy to like try to even articulate it. Like, I remember like when I started like really feeling like present with my kids, I literally started homeschooling them, and I started staying home with them every day. They were going to daycare and stuff like that. I started staying home with them every day because I just was in shock and awe. I was like, "Oh my god, these are my babies. Like, I have babies." Like, I couldn't even really understand, like my brain was trying to process like that I really had these kids. Like, it was such a crazy like experience. Like, I can only attribute it, I can only like kind of compare it to like maybe you being in like a coma or something like that, and then waking up and
Yeah.
like realizing like, surprise, like you got your memory back and you realize you have kids, you have this. That's how it felt for me. And when I tell you, I got so attached to my kids because I like finally realized that I had them. Like, I was like, oh my god, like, wait, I had kids, like, for real, for real. And I remember another thing that like was happening to me a lot because again I was in a traumatic situation. I would go back and like watch old videos, and I would kind of look at old pictures of their birth and stuff and try to like remember and
Remember
feel it
what's up.
and feel the feeling. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe like these are my kids, you know? So one thing I do want to say, I know this video is about to end, but one thing I do want to say is that God is such a good God, because even in the midst of like your pain, your hurt, your trauma, is like God works everything for your good. I cannot believe that I have like the kids I have, and I'm so grateful. Like I'm so great. Every day I pinch myself. I'm like, I cannot believe I had 4 kids. I don't feel like Nina now that knows all the risk and all the things involved would have ever done it. And I feel like that's the blessing. That's the silver lining in it all.
Imagine being a mother of four and you never realized that you had 4 children, but you were giving birth back to back. 4 children. And later on, you had to, like, oh my God, I have 4 children after coming to realization. I have a reaction on this video. This woman is talking about women that go to dark places to get power. Women that they will do anything just to be in a relationship with a man. You could give birth and they'll come online, or they'll just come and tell us that they've checked out and all of that. Let's watch his reaction on this particular video, then I'll share my thoughts at the end of the video.
One of the scariest things for me coming out of a narcissistic abusive relationship was the great and deep realization that I had as many kids as I did. And I know that that sounds insane, like just hearing me say that, but let me explain.
This is precisely why I'm going to start going in unapologetically. I am an empathetic person. I fully understand the intelligence of the human body and the human brain. I understand people that go through traumatic things, and I honor and respect that trauma. However, as a self-proclaimed dark goddess oracle and a dark mother of sorts, I do not care, right? Because these sorts of things are so common and so dangerous. You know, the brain is very intelligent because, as she said, your body will go into fight or flight, right? And so this is why I say, I literally said this in my live the other day, women have to go to dark places in order to deal with men. So when women like me get online and we talk about shadow work, and we talk about ending bloodlines, and we talk about how many of y'all should not exist, I don't even think I should exist. I think I was meant to exist, but if I went by my own rules, I would not exist. Okay? So I'm not around. And everything that I say apply to me as well. Y'all are dangerous. This sort of shit is dangerous. And it angers me. And it put a fire in my belly. And the more women get in my comment section, the more women show me want empathy and want sympathy and want all types of pats on the back and tears for this kind of shit, the more y'all fuel my fire. When I speak about the layers of womanhood and the deep, dark places women hide shit from themselves and how dangerous these women are, y'all don't have room to blame shit on men that would not be here. They wouldn't breathe the breath of life if you chose something different. The grace that I extend to this woman is by saving her video and not stitching it, so she don't have to see this unless the good goddess of algorithm decide to show it to her or somebody send it to her. That is my grace extended to her. When I say that in order to deal with men, women have to go dark places, and I don't want to hear any of you bitches. I don't want to hear any of you bitches get cringy. I don't want to hear any of y'all get nauseated when Dark Mother is talking. When the dark goddess is talking through all of us who are on here doing this work. I don't want to hear any of y'all bitches' stomach getting tight. Okay? Because the shit that y'all will sit and deal with, and then y'all will bring new life into this planet and check the out. You bitches are cruel. And the body and brain is intelligent. Because in order for her to survive, and women like her, and it is a lot of women that don't realize how many children they have. I saw a video a couple of months back where this lady had woke her kids up, was outside on a Saturday morning because she was so much on autopilot. That is your entire system shutting down. This is how you bitches will sit around and let people violate children, and you act like you don't know what's happening. Y'all are dangerous. And y'all will never get me to be quiet. Ever. Because y'all don't care about the impact. When your body is trying to save you, who is saving these babies?
Yeah.
When your brain is shutting down to how many children you done birthed and pushed out your body. When I say y'all go to dark places in order to deal with men, this is the shit that I'm talking about. Y'all will bring multiple children in here and then turn around and be like, I don't know how this happened. I don't know how this happened. Y'all are prisoners in your own body, and that is a goddamn choice. You are not a victim. You are an active participant. And the more of y'all that try to argue with me, the more of y'all that demand empathy and demand us point fingers at men, the more y'all fuel my fire to point at y'all, because they would not be here had you existed. Y'all are zombies walking around on your back, letting life happen to you and letting life happen to your children. I don't give one motherfuck about how women feel. It is your fault. It is your fault. And the adults, I honor and respect the little girl in her whose mother didn't do better for her, and then she turned around and continued the cycle. Stop it. Because after a while, it is a choice, and it is so unfortunate. And I will continue to shout this from the rooftops in hopes that you bitches will hear me, if not just one. And it's not because I care about you, and it's not because I care about any individual person or child. I care about the collective, which ultimately the individual makes up the collective. But I know somebody will hear me. Some of y'all will continue to suffer. Some of y'all will feed y'all children to the system and be in fight or flight. I do not care if I hurt your feelings. My grace can only extend but for so much, because y'all ride grace until the wheel falls off. And in the meantime, y'all are destroying more children in the process. And I am disgusted. Women disgust me. So, y'all don't have time to blame shit on men who would not have existed had you actually existed in your body. Y'all are checked out, and I'm the light in the dark room, trying to show you whores, because that's exactly what y'all are. Y'all are allowing men to put your bodies, and y'all don't care about anything. You don't care about your children when you don't care about yourself. How do y'all sleep at night? Oh, because you're checked out. You're a walking zombie. You're waking up on Saturday morning because you're on autopilot. You're on cruise control in your own life, and you are traumatizing every single child that you have. But y'all think y'all breaking generational curses? You break generational curses by ending bloodlines. Start with yours.
There's something I know when it comes to abuse in a relationship is that you would not know you're being abused at a point. Most of the time, people feel like if you're not physically abused, they don't physically beat you, you don't have scar on your face, you don't have black eyes, or you don't have injury, you're not being rushed to the hospital, then people don't understand the type of abuse you can be. I feel like the most painful or the deadliest abuse is that emotional abuse, because you're not even seeing it. And once you even try to explain to people how you're emotionally being abused in your relationship, people be like, oh, this is just this little thing that is making you walked out. Like, just calm down. It's not all that. But nobody understand the kind of damage it's doing into your system, into your brain and your nervous system, everything circulating. Nobody understand. In fact, most women go through a lot of illness that does not have cure, all in the name of they are being mentally or emotionally abused by their partner. And this particular relationship or particular abuse, you can't explain it because it's not physical abuse. And once that those abuse, when it's that, you don't know. The thing is that you don't even know that you have been abused. Most of the time, we see videos of women come to talk about or show us a little video of their husband do them something very romantic in their own head. Is like romance. Just like when this woman was saying, she just put a camera just to show us how loving and attached her husband is. Anytime she want to go to the bathroom to have her bath, he's always angry that why did you tell me you're going to have your bath? I want to join you in the bathroom. You shouldn't go to the bathroom without telling me. To her, it's like, oh my God, he's so loving. He loves me so much. He cannot even let me be. She does not know that she's been abused. She does not know. Or the woman that is talking about her husband cannot pack a normal lunch for her. Just a day. If she forgot to pack her lunch, just once in a lifetime for him to pack lunch for his wife, he packed dog food for her. She find it very funny and she's like, oh, you guys don't get it. You guys don't get it. She does not know what she's into. I feel like most of the time when women are being abused, at that point, they can't explain it. You don't know, even though you are trying to tell them that this is an abuse, this is control, this is something else. They don't understand. They're like, no, this is love. So maybe later on, when they get to realize that, oh, this person is actually abusing me, they might have done a lot of damage to them. I really sit trying to understand how you will have children and you don't know that you have children. That means the damage that that abuse must have done to her must be like a lot to her mental health. That she does not even, she's just like moving like a robot. She doesn't even understand what she's doing. Because I don't understand how you have four children and you don't know that you have four children. It's now that you're now seeing that, oh, I actually have four children. I actually love my children. They're actually beautiful and handsome. But then when you were abused, you did not know. That is a danger of being in an abusive relationship. Most of the time, they kind of preach women, you are being in a relationship with somebody, nobody's perfect. So try to endure and you will suffer a little, but then you will enjoy later. I've seen some videos of women advising younger women or even married women that are in marriages or in abusive marriage that don't worry. If you start up with if your partner started being abusing you at the early stage of your relationship, later on in the years, he might not abuse you again. So you know what you're going to do? Endure those first 10 years of abuse. Then later, after 10 years in the relationship, he's not going to abuse you again. That's when you'll be enjoying your relationship. And I'm like, what if she does not survive that first 10 years of abuse? And we're not just talking about physical abuse. There's emotional abuse, there's mental abuse, there's financial abuse that we're not even talking about. And most people kind of neglect emotional or mental abuse. Most people neglect. People feel like it's not that important. So far it's not physically beating you, then there's nothing you can do, or it is not all that. It's something you're it's just something you're putting on your head, or a scenario that you're putting on your head. It's not how you see it. I feel like when you're not physically abused or but you're being abused in a relationship and you try to explain to people that don't get it, they see it as if you had the problem. Most of the time, because the partner that you might even be married to might have this very good attitude. If you're married to a narcissist, is friendly, is kind, is nice to people outside, but is being terrible to you inside. So when you're telling people how terrible that man is to you, people are like, no, it's not possible. That kind of man, you're the one that is the problem. You need to be calming down. And you'll be like, you don't even know that you're already losing it. Imagine being in an abusive relationship and don't even know that you have 4 children. That's a lot, you guys. I'd like to know your thoughts about this video down in the comment section, respectfully. As always, Sugar Mary David, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one.